of Ibn Jamaah rahimahullah. We've reached the last point in the chapter of the dealings of the teacher with his students. The dealings of the teacher with his students. He says the last point, which is point number 14, he says that he is humble towards a student. That he should be humble towards a student. And anyone who seeks guidance or asks, and he is from those who establish that which is from the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his rights, he should be humble towards him. And he should lower his wings towards him, meaning he should be humble and kind towards him. Allah says, وَخْفِضْ جَنَاحَكَ لِمَنِ اتَّبَعَكَ مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ, and lower your wing for the one who follows you from amongst the believers. And it's been authenticated from the Prophet ﷺ that he said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ تَعَالَى أَوْهَى إِلَيَّ أَن تَوَاضَعُوا, that Allah has revealed to me that you should have humbleness, that you should be humble. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said, وَمَا تَوَاضَعَ أَحَدٌ لِلَّهِ إِلَّا رَفَعَهُ, that none have been humbled for the sake of Allah except that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala raises them. Except that Allah raises them. And this is to all of the people. You should be humble towards all of the people. Then what about the one who is close to you and your student, or the one who is from those who constantly sits with you and are from those who have been honored with the seeking of knowledge? Then you should be even more humble towards them. You should be even more humble towards them. And it comes in the narration of the Prophet ﷺ, although it is not authentic, لِينُوا لِمَنْ تُعَلِّمُونَ وَلِمَنْ تَتَعَلَّمُونَ مِنْ, that be gentle with those who you teach and those who you learn from. This narration is weak. And it comes on Al-Fudayl, مَنْ تَوَاضَعَ لِلَّهِ, that the one who is humble for the sake of Allah, Allah will give him hikmah. Allah will give him wisdom. This narration is Hasan. This narration is Hasan. The one who is humble for the sake of Allah, Allah will grant him wisdom. And he says, befitting that you speak to them, all of them amongst them, especially the one who is virtuous amongst them, and distinguished by way of a kunya. You speak to them by way of a kunya. You distinguish them by way of a kunya. And this is something which the Arabs, they praise. The Arabs, they praise calling someone by way of their kunya. And similar to from the most beloved names to him. You should call those who are amongst you with the most beloved names. You shouldn't make names that are disrespectful or they dislike. Rather, you call them with the names that are beloved to them. And also call them by names in that which shows them honor and exoneration. It comes from Aisha radiallahu anha that the Prophet ﷺ used to give his Sahaba different kunyas as a way of honor for them. As a way of honor for them. Similarly, it is befitting that he meets or he greets his students when he meets them. And when he comes towards them. And he honors them if he sits amongst them. And he should also be from those who are compassionate towards them by asking regarding their conditions and their situations. And that which is concerning them. After returning their salam. And he should deal with them by way of smiling at them. And showing happiness when he sees them. And having good dealings with them. And showing them and telling them that he loves them. That he loves them for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also showing them compassionism. Because that is what will open his heart towards you. Give him sharah sadr. And also make him smile in his face. And also make it easy for him to ask his questions. And that will also make him desire more seeking happiness and success. Seeking success by asking you and studying with you and teaching and learning from you. And this is, he says, the wasiyah, the advice of the Prophet ﷺ, in that report from Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. They say, إِنَّ النَّاسَ لَكُمْ تَبَعْ, that the people follow you. وَإِنَّ رِجَالًا يَأْتُونَكُم مِّنْ أَقْطَارِ الْأَرْضِ يَتَفَكَّهُونَ عَلَى الدِّينِ, that the people come to you from different parts of the land due to seeking knowledge from you or seeking the religion. فَإِذَا أَتَوْكُمْ فَاسْتَوْصَوْا بِهِمْ خَيْرًا, if they come to you, I advise you to be good towards them. To be good towards them. This narration is not authentic from the Prophet ﷺ, rather is da'if jiddan. But this is how one should be with the students. As the scholars have mentioned, that honoring the students is honoring knowledge. Honoring the student of knowledge in reality is honoring the knowledge that he is seeking. And then honoring knowledge is honoring the religion that caused to that knowledge. And honoring the religion is from sha'ir al-Islam. So the rituals of Islam. وَمَنْ يُعَذِّمْ شَعِرَ اللَّهِ فَإِنَّهَا مِنْ تَقْوَى الْقُلُوبِ. The one who honors and exonerates the sha'ir, the rituals of Islam, then it shows piety in the person's heart. So it's not something simple to see a student of knowledge and not honor him. Rather, the student of knowledge should be honored. If it is merely only for the sake that he is honoring knowledge, you should honor him. So a student of knowledge is someone who is honored. And as the Prophet ﷺ mentioned, that even the malaika, لَتَدَعْ عَجْنِهَتِهَا لِطَالِبٍ يُرِيدُ بِمَا يَصْنَعُ, That the malaika, they lower their wings for the student knowledge out of pleasure for what they do and what they seek. So what about a human being amongst us? If we see a student knowledge, seeking knowledge, we should praise him and be happy with him. Not be from those who discourage him and tell him, brother, what are you going to do with your life? You're never going to go anywhere, never be successful. That's not something a person should do when he sees a student knowledge. Rather, he should honor him and show him respect and be humble towards him. For he is seeking that which the religion calls him to, and that is knowledge. And that which Allah promised him, if you were to seek it for his sake, Allah will give him rif'ah. Allah will raise him in this dunya and the hereafter. And he says, وَكَانَ al-Buwayti, the student of Al-Shafi'i, his name is Abu Yaqub Yusuf ibn Yahya al-Misri, the companion of Al-Shafi'i. He used to bring close the Qurra, the reciters of the Quran, and bring them close if they sought knowledge. And he would also teach them the virtue of Al-Shafi'i. They would also teach the virtue of Al-Shafi'i and the virtue of his books. وَيَقول, and he would say, كَانَ الشَّافِعِ يَأْمُرْ بِذَلِكَ. Shafi'i used to command with this. And he used to say, be patient with the strangers and other than them from amongst the students. Be patient with them. And it's also said that Abu Hanifa used to be the most honorable amongst the people to those who he used to sit with. And he used to be very severe in honoring his companions. He used to honor them greatly. Then he says, Al-Babu Thalith, the third chapter, وَفِيهِ ثَلَاثَةُ فُصُولٍ فِي آدَابِ الْمُتَعَلِّمِ. In it is 3 chapters or sub-chapters regarding the manners of the student himself. So now we've studied the manners of the teacher with the student. Now it's going to come to the manners of the student himself. How he interacts with himself, how he interacts with his teacher, how he interacts with his books, how he interacts with different places that he studies knowledge in. And this is something important nowadays. You find people nowadays, they claim to be from those who are Tullab al-Ilm or students of knowledge, and they lack this aspect of manners with their teacher, or manners with their learning and understanding and other than this. You find that some of the scholars, such as Shaykh Salih Usaymin and other than them, if they see someone in their class doing something which is not befitting, they put them on the spot. You shouldn't be doing it, shouldn't be doing that. Example, someone bringing a sharh to the class of a different shaykh. You find the audio where he tells them, this is not the way a student gains knowledge. Why does he do this? He does not do this because to put the student on the spot, but rather to show him that you're seeking knowledge, honor it. This knowledge that you're seeking deserves honor. And there's a way to seek it, and a way that you should be mannered and have manners towards it. You should not be from those who just seek it and don't worry about how you deal with your teacher, or deal with your book, or deal with the other students amongst you. Rather, you should be from those who honor knowledge, because in that, as we said, you're honoring the religion of Islam. So he says the first one is regarding the student's manners in of himself. And he says 10 different points. The first point is that he purifies his heart from every type of envy and lowly characteristics and cheating, and also a bad beliefs or su' aqidah, having bad beliefs. He should purify himself from this. And also he should purify himself from having bad manners. So by that he can be upright to accept this knowledge. I mean, to accept this knowledge properly, you must free yourself from hasad, envy. You don't come to the class and the only reason you're coming is to envy the student beside you because he memorizes more than you, or he's closer to his teacher. You want to compete with him. Or you should have proper beliefs. If you have wrong beliefs, you're not going to honor the true knowledge that comes to you. You're going to put it aside and say, my teacher said such and such, so I'm going to follow such and such. Not honoring what the Prophet ﷺ said. Example, some of them will tell you regarding aspect of fiqh, yes, I know the Prophet ﷺ did it this way, but my shaykh says do it this way, so I do it the way my shaykh does it. This kind of person will not benefit from the knowledge. He will not benefit from it, because he has not fixed himself having bad manners with the Prophet ﷺ, first and foremost. So he will not benefit and not be from those who accept this knowledge correctly. And also regarding memorizing it and coming across the deep meanings of knowledge. For knowledge, as some of them they said, is salatul sir, is the hidden prayer, and the ibadah of the qalb, the worship of the heart. And there is a nearness which is an inner nearness. It's an inner nearness. He says, as the prayer is not correct, which is a prayer which is done, or act of worship which is done on the limbs, which are apparent to the people, except by way of tahara, except by way of purifying yourself from al-khubth, major impurity and minor impurity, then similarly knowledge is not correct, as it is the worship of the heart, except by purifying the heart from the evilness of it. Purifying the heart from the evilness of it. And purifying it from the different bad manners and lowly manners. And he says if your heart becomes clean and pure, if your heart becomes pure and clean for knowledge, then you'll see the barakah of it. You'll see the barakah, the blessings of it. And you'll see that it will start to grow as a land grows when the water hits it and it starts to vegetate. So if you truly purify your heart to seek this knowledge, then Allah will put blessings in regards to your knowledge. But if you're doing it for different side aspects, such as we mentioned, envy and other than this, then it will not benefit you. And a benefit that, and then he says, وَفِي الْحَدِيثِ إِنَّ فِي الْجَسَدِ مُضْغَةً إِذَا صَلُحَتْ صَلُحَ الْجَسَدُ كُلُّهُ وَإِذَا فَسَدَتْ فَسَدَ الْجَسَدُ كُلُّهُ أَلَا وَهِيَ الْقَلْبُ. That in the body there is a flesh. If it is correct, then the rest of the body is correct. And if it is corrupted, the rest of the body is corrupted, and that is the heart. And from what I benefit Shaykh Al-Hamid regarding this chapter, Shaykh Al-Hamid Al-Hajjur, may Allah preserve him and protect him, he mentioned that the heart is the entrance that the shaitan always tries to enter from, to corrupt you. If he wants to corrupt your eyesight, he enters through your heart. If he wants to corrupt your way of seeking knowledge, he enters through your heart. If he wants to try to corrupt any form of your aspects of life, he enters through the heart. So it's very important for a student of knowledge to protect his heart. He should be from those who face severe or pay a lot of concern to protecting his heart from the shaitan entering these different things to it. For once the shaitan enters by way of thoughts, then those thoughts start to become intentions, and then those intentions start to take actions. That is when it starts to take advantage of you. So as before even entering the thought, you should purify your heart from that thought even entering. So it's important that we pay concern to our hearts. For if you want to see the barakah, the blessing of this knowledge, then be from those who purify your hearts. وقال سهل حرام على القلب أن يدخله النور وفيه شيء مما يكره الله. It is prohibited upon the heart that something of light enters into it, and there is something in the heart that which Allah dislikes. It is prohibited upon the heart that something of light enters into it, whilst in the heart is something which Allah dislikes. And this is similar to the statement of Waqi'. Anyone know the statement of Waqi' when he discussed regarding Al-Shafi'i? That he complained to Al-Shafi'i? Huh? نعم. شكوت لوكيل لسوء حفظي فارشدني إلى ترك المعاصي فأخبرنا أن علم النار النور ونور الله لا يؤتى لعاصي. That I complained to Shafi'i about my bad memory. So he directed me to what? To leaving off sins. And he informed me that this knowledge is nur, light from Allah, and Allah does not give His light to a sinner. So it's important for us to, if you want to seek this knowledge, and purify your hearts first. And you'll find some of the awam, the general folk, their heart might be purer than the student of knowledge, and that's wrong. You find that the ami will sit from, the general folk will sit from the time of Fajr to Dhuhr and read the Quran. And he is munsharihu sadr. He is happy with this. This all he enjoys. And you find the student knowledge, he's sitting on his phone, backbiting this one, backbiting that one, and his heart is not pure. This ami, this general folk, his heart is clean and pure. Allah bless him in his time, he reads Quran from the time of Fajr to Dhuhr. And the student knowledge is more befitting that he should be doing something like that. And for that reason, scholars have mentioned the student knowledge is like a white thobe. If any type of dirt falls on it, it ruins it. It becomes exposed. The student knowledge becomes exposed. As for the other than them, then it's like black. They wear a black thobe. Anything falls in it, doesn't get exposed. But the student knowledge amongst the people, one bad deed you do or one mistake you make, perhaps it ruins your whole da'wah. So it's important to purify the heart and be from those who pay concern to this affair and this aspect of getting knowledge. For knowledge is not just memorization, memorizing a lot and reading a lot and understanding a lot. Rather, knowledge has the aspect of purifying your heart and purifying your inner self and getting close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For that is also from the greatest aspects of knowledge. So inshallah we'll stop with this for now and continue next week. If there's any question, we'll take it now. If not, we'll stop with this inshallah.